On today's episode, we are talking with Thomas McFinch of I-CAR. So are you investing in your business by investing in your people? I-CAR training is one great way that we can make sure that we're continuing the crazy education that we all need to stay on top of. And Thomas kind of dives into that a little bit. I think that every shop owner, manager, no matter what position you have, I think this is something we really need to stay on top of. I know a lot of shops out there preach it, but there are a lot of shops out there not doing any training at all. Crazy, right? Well, stay tuned to this interview with Thomas. It's going to be good.
Welcome to Body Bangin', your podcast for all things body. Auto body, that is. And now, introducing Body Bangin's host, Mickey Woods of Mickey Woods Marketing. Mickey is a former auto collision center owner and is now a marketing and business development expert to shops across the globe.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of the Body Bangin' podcast. My guest today is none other than Thomas McFinch. Thomas McFinch, that sounds very Irish.
Very. Yes. Yeah.
I love it. Tom's from I-CAR, and he is coming to us from the Southeast Collision Conference. He is there. Do you have a booth there today, Tom?
We do have a booth. Yeah, we have a great booth. We have a lot of engagement going on right now. It's awesome. And Mickey, I got to tell you, I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller. Thanks for having me on the show here. Looking forward to putting some stuff together. But yeah, our booth is really going good. We've got a nice setup, and I couldn't say enough good things about this conference. You know, we've attended conferences in the past, and some of them weren't great and some were better. But this one's going really fantastic right now for us today. And we're getting a lot of traction, getting a lot of opportunities to talk to shops, really spending that time having those real conversations about how do I repair vehicles, talking about how do we get the information, the knowledge, and the skills to make those complete, safe, quality repairs for the ultimate benefit of our consumer, because that's what we're here about. And that's what we're here to talk about in regards to collision education.
Yeah. Well, and if anybody is in the collision space, we all know I-CAR. I mean, you got to know I-CAR. Come on. And the joy of it is that, you guys are the go-to for the training right out of the gate for any shop.
Right. We want to talk about the education, not just training, because this is about education. This is about continuing education. You get some training along the way, and you're going to get some really good training, but there's more to it than just calling it training, right? Because no one wants to train, but everyone wants to be educated. So that's really the message that we want to get out to people. This is about continuing your collision education and understanding how to make that proper repair and what goes into it and what happens when you don't. Right. We've got an example here today of what happens when you don't.
Right.
So that's what we really get across is that education piece of collision repair.
Well, I like what you said too, the continuing education, because it's a never ending thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we look at the advancements of automobiles and we look at what happened today. The car we drive today, the car you climb in today is so vastly different than 5 years ago. And that car has to be repaired different than it was 5 years ago. And that's that really focus of our continuing education that we want to stay in touch with our community, with our, with all the segments of the industry to really focus on how can we deliver that education? How can we get that message across to the shops so that they are making those repairs correctly?
Yeah, absolutely. So today, when you're having your booth and people are coming by, what's the most common question that you're getting from people?
It's amazing. The biggest thing we're hearing is we dabble a little bit in education, but we don't really know, or we haven't done a lot with it. What do I need to do? What does that education look like in terms of how can I participate in it? Where do I go to find it? How can I get my people invested into it?
Yeah.
What type of, the other thing is what type of a lot of folks, unfortunately, don't even know all the broad aspects of the education that we bring and that hands-on skills development training into the shops. And so that's where a lot of our questions are coming up today in terms of where can I go for this type of information? Where can I go for that? What are you doing beyond my guy that has 20 years experience? What do you have for him, right?
Right.
What we have for him is how to repair cars today versus how to repair cars 20 years ago. That's what we have for that person. And that's really what we want to focus on is building that repair process for the future and really developing those technician skill sets for today's vehicle, not necessarily for what they worked on, when they were younger or 20 years ago.
Well, and I can say it, I don't know if you can, but oftentimes shop owners let me know that those are the biggest problems in the shop, oftentimes, are the most experienced people because they think they've got it all figured out because they've been doing it for so long.
Right. They know how to read that. They know how to read the estimate, right? You go to the last page, see how many hours are on it. It doesn't matter what you're fixing, right? You just go to the last page and then you say, I need a supplement. You didn't even look at the estimate. You couldn't tell me what's on it. But that's we want to focus on that piece in terms of understanding that estimating process, focus on that blueprinting and understanding what goes into disassembling, reassembling that vehicle. So when it gets into that facility, it's done correctly. The proper repair procedures are followed. They know what to do. They didn't just flip to the last page and say, I need something else.
Right.
That's very frustrating.
Yes, absolutely. Well, and it's frightening for a shop owner. As a former shop owner, I laid awake at night thinking, gosh, I really hope my people are doing what they're supposed to be doing because you can't be there to monitor it.
No, I'm with you. I ran shops for 25 years. It's the same way. Unless you are out there and really spending that time on the floor, there's a lot of things that can be done that you may not be aware of, but you're still liable for.
That's right.
And that's the reality of it.
Yeah, exactly. The scary reality for sure. Hey, would you like to increase the number of cars in your drive? Well, look no further. The Mickey Woods marketing team provides collision center specific marketing. We use proven techniques to not only increase your sales, but put money in your pocket. Visit us at collisioncentermarketing.com, or you can find my personal contact information in the show notes. And let's get your 2022 off to a body banging start. So for people that are watching the podcast or listening to it right now that are having those same questions, do you recommend them going to the ICAR website or reaching out to anybody in particular? Like where would they kind of get started?
I think a great place to start is our website.
Okay.
www.i-car.com.
Okay.
That's going to give them the basics. We have a customer care department that they could contact if they had a direct customer care question at 800-422-7872.
Okay.
Or ICAR USA. You can spell it out or you can type it out by numbers. ICAR USA. Either way.
Okay.
That's a great place to start. The other great place to start is connecting with, there's a map of the regional managers where they can connect with those regional guys. And that's what we really like to do is foster those relationships, those new relationships, really work with those new shops that aren't even in our system that we aren't aware of. I met a shop owner today, new shop, not in our system, wants to get involved, just getting going, understands there's a process, understands what the needs look like for the future, and realizes I need to invest in my business and I need to invest in education and training to really advance where we are today, repairing cars how we think. That's the scary part, how we think they need to be repaired versus how they need to be repaired. And that's what we're seeing. So the best place is go to our website, contact our customer care department, or if they need to contact me directly, I'm happy to give out my phone number, my email address. I'll welcome shops to have a conversation about this. And, my direct number is 402-960-0847 is my cell number.
Okay.
You can call me. If I don't answer the phone, leave me a message. I will follow up and we'll get you the information you need.
Awesome. I love that. Well, it's interesting that I'm seeing, there are insurance companies that won't bring on a shop if they don't have the ICAR Gold class. There's now, certifications that require different levels of ICAR training and that kind of thing. Sure. So there's so many levels of value of the education. And I think obviously the insurance companies see it, the manufacturers see it, but otherwise they wouldn't be requiring it. Right.
And that's a great point, Mickey. But the real point is, back to your question earlier, what keeps you up at night, right?
Yeah.
My cars get repaired correctly. So we would like to absolutely encourage people to get their gold class designation, to get connected with, if they want to be in a direct repair relationship, they want to be in an OEM relationship. We absolutely encourage that. But more than just that, we want to encourage them to take that education, take that training, get those hands-on skills that allows that technician that's been doing it for many years incorrectly to learn how to now do it correctly and make that proper repairs. And you, through naturally, you'll become gold class as a shop and platinum as a technician by consuming that education and taking that training, that hands-on training we offer.
Right. Now, it's been many, many moons since I did ICAR. So
you want to start again?
Yeah. Right. I got your number.
What's holding you up?
Yeah. God, now where was I going with it? So, back then and pre-COVID, I'm sure most of it was like you had to go to the ICAR classes. Now I know there's potentially resources online. Are you guys going out to shops? What's the landscape of ICAR looking like in today's world?
The landscape today is we have a large course catalog for online courses.
Okay.
And then we also have virtual courses where we'll have an instructor doing just like you and I are, right?
Okay.
I'm the student, you're the instructor, you're telling me, you're teaching me, you're educating me on how to make that repair or that course that we're talking about. Yeah. So we'll do that. Those courses range from, an hour and a half to 2.5, 3 hours potentially, which may seem long, but it's not when you really think about what you're learning and what you used to go through for a 4-hour course. Plus you had to drive somewhere.
Right.
So we kind of backed off from that. COVID taught us a lot about how to deliver virtually and how to make that more convenient to shops. And then the other way we do it is we deliver in shop. So we come to your shop. You're the shop owner. We come to your shop. We train your technicians on your equipment in your facility, in your environment, in their environment. So there's a level of comfort there. It's much more comfortable. And they've learned on the exact piece of equipment they're going to be performing those repairs with the next day.
Right.
That's the beautiful thing about it. But live instruction, we still get a lot of requests for live instruction, and it's not off the table. We still look at that as a great opportunity in the future, but we still have some resistance with some of the places that we used to have available to us that aren't available anymore. We're still working with some of the community colleges to get that. But we really want to focus on those those online, those virtual, and then those in-shop training opportunities.
Yeah. Now, does ICAR do anything with technician like schools and that kind of thing? Like technicians coming into the industry? Is it only directly with the shops?
No, we have a curriculum that we utilize with the career technical education schools, both secondary and post-secondary, that we work with them and we work with them to help them develop those future students for the industry. So we want to work with them and make sure that we're supporting them and that we're bridging that gap with industry and education. Absolutely.
Yeah, because I just think that's so important, especially with where we are at today in the collision industry with so many technicians kind of aging out and retiring and the workforce issue of making sure that we're educating our new people coming in and keeping them up to date, and curriculum hugely important for obvious reasons. So that's cool. So you run the Southeast region, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. So there are different regional managers then throughout the
correct. We have 6 different regions across the country, and we have a variation of states that we cover, and we're available. So we work directly with the collision centers as well as the career technical education schools throughout our regions.
Okay. So you are a busy man.
We stay pretty busy, yes.
I bet. Well, this is awesome. I love all the information. Is there anything else you kind of wanted to say before we wrap it up?
Really, I just want to thank you for having us on and giving us an opportunity to have a voice and talk to you and really promote this event here, the Southeast Collision Conference, and really want to encourage folks to get involved all across wherever they live with their collision conferences, their associations, and get involved with your schools, because if you want to get some technicians, you've got to bridge that gap yourself. They need your support as much as you need their help building your shop. So that's the biggest thing I want to make sure we all understand is we all have to work together to drive that message home.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I love it. And I thank you for coming on and taking the time. I know you guys are busy, and I'm glad we got to sneak you away for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Well, Tom, it's nice to see you and chat with you. And I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to today's podcast. I know you found this interesting, and all of Tom's information will be in the description below. So if you want to contact him, go to the ICAR website, whatever you want, all that information is down there for you. So we will see you next time on the Body Banging Podcast. Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We have some incredible topics and guests coming your way you will not want to miss. If you are watching on YouTube and don't want to miss the latest and greatest, you'll want to hit the bell after subscribing, so you will get a pop-up each time a video podcast goes live. To our devoted fans, would you mind paying it forward and sharing this little gem with someone else you think may benefit from it? Much love from all of us here at Body Bangin', all things auto body.